So hello there and welcome back to the channel. This is Mel's Gaming here with another prehistoric hunt video. Now in this video we're going to be taking a look at a brand new species that has recently been added to prehistoric hunt with the predator update. Now two new species were actually added with this update, but in this video we're just going to be focusing on one of them, that being the Mosasaurus, which is absolutely insane to say they have added an aquatic dinosaur, which is absolutely incredible. So the first fully aquatic species, the Mosasaurus, is now living in the water. Take care when finding loot boxes in the water. The Mosasaurus cannot yet be hunted as the current equipment cannot be used underwater. We'll be implementing it in the coming updates. So you cannot currently hunt these guys, but they are already in the game. You can actually go and see them. So that's what this video is going to be about, is going to actually take a look at these guys in game and have that experience, and let me tell you, it's pretty cool. Now there's also been the addition of water loot boxes, as well as just improvements for loot boxes in general, but loot boxes can now be found in the water too. They can be recognised from their orange/white skin. Water loot boxes have a higher chance of having more valuable items in them and can include weapons. The land loot boxes were buffed to have a chance to include all other items except weapons. So there is a genuine reason to go into the water and potentially encounter the Mosasaurus. So this is really, really cool. Now, these clips were actually recorded on a live stream with Killer Kai, and the audio for these was a little bit messy, so I decided to just remove the audio and just narrate over these. But it was really awesome. This was the first time I laid eyes on the Mosasaurus. It is absolutely incredible. Now you'll know if one is nearby from the audio. There is deep rumbling growls that you will hear as these guys are on the approach. It is pretty terrifying, and it will get louder and louder as they get closer, and yeah, it really does build some suspense. But you can see there, only a couple of bites and you will be dead from one of these guys. This was recorded in hard mode, but you know, these are obviously a huge predator, so I don't think it's going to make any difference depending on which mode you're on how many bites it actually takes to kill you. I think these guys will just take a couple of bites out of you and you'll be dead regardless, which is just absolutely insane, and it is so incredibly eerie. Actually hearing the water around you as you go under the waves and then seeing this huge creature swimming around underneath you was just, it was actually kind of unnerving. I genuinely have a bit of a fear of deep water, and I actually found this pretty scary, so it was really cool. There's not a lot in games that I actually genuinely find unnerving or a bit scary, but this was genuinely one of them. And just watching this guy swimming around underneath us was just a wild experience. Now, obviously these guys have just been added, and there was a little bit of glitchiness, as you can see, going on, kind of just glitching back and forth and stuff, but seeing as they've only just been added, and I think they've been added, you know, as they're being tested and stuff for future updates where you will be able to hunt them, you know, it's kind of expected, I would say, with something that is completely new mechanics. There's never been anything in the water before in this game, so I think it's expected to see a little bit of glitchiness, and we'll see a little bit more of that in a moment in another clip as well. But if you want to go and see one of these in-game, I highly recommend it. Just go out into the water. The deep sort of ocean water is where we were finding them. We found them in a couple of different spots, and especially I would imagine that they might show up where there is those water loot boxes, seeing as it was mentioned, you know, to keep an eye out for these guys around those water loot boxes. But it is just a really, really cool experience at the moment. It's very unfortunate that we can't hunt them yet, but like I said, it's actually worth just going to go and see these if you are interested in playing this game at the moment. It's really cool that they've added this, and I can't wait to see what it's going to be like when we can actually hunt these. It's going to be pretty wild. I'm imagining, you know, that there might be rares and stuff added for these guys as well, similar to the other species in this game, which I think will be wild. Imagine seeing an albino Mosasaur underneath you and having to try and actually hunt that down. I think that would be really, really wild. but it's definitely really interesting to see this added to the game, and I think that there's a lot of potential with this, so I was really excited to actually see this as one of the added species for this Predator update. Like, it's really cool to actually see a game taking a bit of a different step with the species that it's adding. It's not just all land-dwelling dinosaurs. We're actually seeing, you know, more additions to the flying dinosaurs, and obviously here, completely new addition with a underwater dinosaur. And you can see here, it kind of was chasing me there and glitched up onto the land, which I obviously don't expect that that's meant to happen, or, you know, maybe it could sort of come out of the water a little bit, but not be quite as glitchy as this. But it was still really cool to actually see and have this experience, and actually get to see it so up close. Because we spent literally a few hours trying to actually encounter these guys and running around. I think we spent about 3 hours looking for them, and we had, I think, 3 separate encounters. So it was pretty wild, honestly, and you might end up having to spend a bit of time to try and find them. But you can see here, when it did actually come up onto the land, it did actually leave footprints, which is really interesting. Now, I'm wondering if that's going to be something that is maybe altered, and it's some way that we'll actually be able to track these guys underwater, maybe? If they're going to leave some sort of trackable clue. I'm really curious to see what that's actually going to be, because obviously they shouldn't be leaving footprints like that, but I'm imagining that that's something that's going to be altered and perhaps worked on in coming updates when we can actually hunt these guys, and that it will be something that allows us to actually know one's in the area of where you're swimming, something like that, some sort of identifiable clue. But that is going to be it for this video, just taking a quick look at these guys and seeing what they're like. Really, really fun to actually go and see them in game, and like I said, I really do recommend going to see them if you are playing this game at the moment. Like I said, head out into the deep ocean water and hopefully you should end up finding one eventually. But yeah, really, really cool. I was super, super pleased to actually go and see these guys. And definitely will be making some more content on this game, especially when we can actually hunt the Mosasaurs. I'll definitely be going out and recording that, because I think that's going to be really, really fun. But that is going to be it for this video, so thank you so, so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.